Hey, welcome back in today's video. We have an update with the Oni Seon lawsuit. Well, it's a little less of a lawsuit for now, and more of a, I don't really like saying this word, dumpster fire. If you're unfamiliar, Oni Seon is a YouTuber that's been on the platform for a decade or so, and he is just done the worst of the worst. He's currently under investigation by the FBI for grooming underage children. There's so much. I have a whole playlist on this. I'm also going to put a playlist from YouTuber Repzilla, who was in court with him just earlier today, and we're going to talk about that. About 6 hours ago, Repzilla released a video. Oni Seon took me to court and dismissed himself.
For those of you who don't know, I am going to court because Oni Seon filed a protective order against me. No, I am not being sued. I am being summoned basically by the court to have a public hearing as Oni Seon makes his case for me, quote-unquote, cyber-stalking him and harassing him.
So if you guys remember the last time we talked about it, we were all under the assumption that Oni Seon was suing Repzilla and Chris Hansen. This was not what happened. Apparently, it was just a protective order for cyber stalking, which is completely bogus because Repzilla is a commentator who's been commentating on public events for the last decade or so. In the court documents, it can be seen where Kai was lying about the events that were taking place, saying that Repzilla had been stalking and harassing them for the last 10 years. Problem with that is that Kai hadn't been with Oni Seon for 10 years. In fact, 10 years ago from around this month would put her around the age of 15 years old.
What he wrote on the paperwork specifically is that I am a cyber stalker and that they feel the need to protect themselves because I've been doing this for 10 years. Now, obviously, if you look at the document that I was given, this couldn't be further from the truth, as I only started making videos about him in 2011. So already there is a massive discrepancy in your claim against me, which also wouldn't that mean that you've met your current husband, Kai, when he was 15 years of age? You specifically say 10 years I've been doing this, which I haven't. My first video was uploaded in 2011, talking about the weird sporadic behavior of filming an ex-girlfriend when she was having a seizure. Definitely not normal.
So Repzilla goes to court. This also had to do with Chris Hansen, but we'll get into that in just a second. Greg shows up in court wearing a beanie, some tennis shoes, and what I'm told was the suit he wore to his wife's wedding. But the most bizarre piece of this is that he was wearing, or it appeared that he was wearing, a bulletproof vest. As you can see here, tennis shoes. Here he is in an elevator. He's wearing the beanie and everything. He's dressed to impress here. But another crazy thing about this was he chose to represent himself, to be his own lawyer, essentially. And then what he did next surprised everyone.
This matter is before the court for hearing upon the request of the petitioner that a protective order be issued. After review of the file and testimony of the party, the petition or order of protection is denied because, checkmark, petitioner requested dismissal of petition. So I just got out of court, okay? And what I can say is that I was pleasantly surprised that Greg dismissed his own protection order against me, which was surprising and something I did not expect.
So one of the big things about this is that within this dismissal, he said that the reason was because he was, and I quote, take alternative, more effective legal action, which leads me to believe that this is far from over, and he's probably going to take this to civil court, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second.
This isn't done yet. He is I truly believe he is going to attempt to take me to civil court again, but under different circumstances, specifically in regards to slander. That's, I 100% believe that, and when that time comes, I will let people know. This is not done yet.
So this is more than likely going to go on to a civil court. Now, I don't know if he's going to do the same thing to Chris Hansen, but I imagine if this unfolds this way, we're going to be seeing pretty much about the same thing, especially since Chris Hansen really didn't get served the first time. Another Chris Hansen did.
He had the wrong Chris Hansen served, and they even went on the record, and Chris's attorney, the judge basically said that, I quote, "I am not Chris Hansen. I am not the Chris Hansen," unquote, because he had the wrong Chris Hansen served, which I don't. This is.
But as you can see, this is a payment receipt because Repzilla had to pay for a lawyer, which was $2,500. So he did open up a GoFundMe, and what's impressive about the GoFundMe and the community morale and support behind him is that not only was it met, but it was surpassed. So people are highly anticipating this civil case. So he's got enough to cover the court costs here and any battle that might happen in the foreseeable future. This is the GoFundMe. It's released 8 hours ago. It's currently at $14,688. The goal was only $2,500. So that's really awesome how many people support Repzilla and are just behind him. Let's read it here. On January 14th, I was served with an anti-harassment protection order from another YouTuber by the name of Oni Seon. Today, January 24th, I went to a public hearing with my attorney to rebuttal the claims of stalking, harassment, and cyberstalking that he claimed against me. He requested dismissal of his own protection order against me. However, I am out $2,500 for taking the proper steps to protect myself from false accusations. I feel like he did this intentionally to intimidate me or to make me stop covering his news, the news he creates for himself. All I've ever done is cover public things this man has done, said, and published online. This is the first time I've ever had a legal issue before due to covering behavior of what crazy people say and do online. Any donations would be greatly appreciated to pay off my credit for the attorney. The total came to $2,500. So we have the receipt here, and this is an awesome cause. If anybody wants to donate further for anything that might happen in the future, the link will be in the description below. One thing that was really interesting about this case was that there was a lot of people there. There were so many people there, they couldn't all fit in the courtroom. It was an outpouring of support for Repzilla and interested onlookers altogether.
I want to thank each and every one of you guys who showed up today, because that small little courtroom was filled to the brim so much that they couldn't even allow any more people to come in. And I had a lot of fans there supporting me. And I just want to say thank you, genuinely thank you, for showing up and just being there, your presence, and supporting me against this crazy person.
There is probably going to be an ongoing lawsuit, so if that's the case, then we'll have more to upload in this new playlist that I created, the Oni Seon lawsuit. As it is right now, there is not a lawsuit. Another thing I want to talk about is not too long after this case today, a YouTuber named Billy the Fridge did a live stream, and I'm not trying to tear this person down, but what he did in his live stream, it was very, very, very disappointing. What he did was he went to the house of Oni Seon, and what I'm told is that Billy the Fridge is has been really close friends with Oni Seon in the past. He went to his house. He called himself Billy Hansen, and he was supposed to do a sit-down interview with Oni Seon, asking the hard questions. This is not what happened. They were very friendly towards each other, to the point where they were sword fighting with sticks. They were playing around, mocking victims, mocking the situation. It was not a respectful situation. This was disappointing to me, and I know it was disappointing to a lot of people. Like I said, though, I'm not trying to tear the dude down. I don't know what his intentions were, but I know what it looked like. Let's go over that.
I didn't prepare this far.
No, of what?
I didn't prepare this. I didn't prepare anything.
I think a lot of this was because he didn't prepare, and I think that him not being prepared for this in general it came off very disrespectful.
And I'm just like, yeah, great thing.
Did you talk to Repzilla while you were there?
He had a smirk on his face.
He always smirks.
He was very smirky. He's balding, is what I noticed. He's balding. No offense. Balding's a perfectly natural thing.
He had his hair
I'm just
spiked,
saying, I
right?
made observations.
He had his
I
hair
don't know what it was.
spiked up,
He was balding and he's gaining some weight, I noticed.
Because he's eating
Those
good.
are the only observations
He's
I
eating
made.
good. He's making
Those
a
are
lot
the
of
only
money.
observations
He's
I
making a
made.
lot of money.
He is.
Making a lot of YouTube money. He's eating good.
He's making James bread.
James bread.
Billy just gave him the platform, so he talked terribly about Repzilla. He talked a lot about Chris Hansen.
Fighting me in front of my house? Let's go.
Oh, shit, he's winning. He's winning. He's winning.
He's really
he's winning.
winning.
He's
He's
winning.
actually-
He's winning.
he
He's winning.
actually has
He's winning.
Oh, you're killing me! Oh. Here, let's do a few punches to my face.
Damn it!
But what about the victims?
Come on.
Ah! This is not a joke. This is not a joke.
Bill,
You're mocking the
I know.
people.
Billy, you're
mocking the
canceled.
people.
I'm canceled. God, I don't know what to do. I wanted to.
This isn't a joke. You're making
It's not
fun.
a joke.
How could you?
yeah,
That's terrible.
there's nothing funny about this.
Yeah, you're laughing. I hear you laughing.
Not with the victims.
And you're standing next to me. This is like
I
a
know.
So this is pretty much how this live stream goes. At one point, it gets incredibly awkward when. Well, look.
If you're gonna prove to the people that you don't support pedophiles, I want you to punch him in the face.
Yeah, come on. Come on. Punch me on my own property.
Punch
see what
him
happens.
I
for
know.
real
I
in
know.
the face.
On camera.
Or you're a pedo supporter.
No. I don't want to.
Wow. Disliked, unsubbed. Fuck him.
Are we? What is this? I'm in a suit.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
You're gonna fall. I should have put you in the.
I grabbed
This
that
is
with
for
the leg.
victims everywhere.
He got me. He got me.
No smiles.
No
It's
smiles.
for the victims.
They're literally mocking a serious situation. That's what's disappointing about this. You guys let me know what you think. The link to this is going to be below. Here's one specific point where Oni Seon does get irritated, and I feel like there are a couple points in this live stream that can be helpful in a court of law.
But
Air
I
Force
believe
cop, which isn't a real cop.
I
the
believe
time-
the victims
All
though.
the time I knew you, it felt like you were playing.
In order
to
to
the law.
believe victims, they have to be victims. Some people lie, and that's what nobody has. Anybody ever lied to you? Some people lie, and nobody can comprehend that idea that some people lie, especially when it comes to clout and money. How many of these fuckers have GoFundMes?
Also, you can tell multiple times throughout this live stream that Billy is uncomfortable whenever his friend asks something that could possibly upset Oni Seon. Billy seems afraid of Oni Seon.
That's what I would have said.
brought up everything. I'm trying to talk to him in a
Yeah,
way that.
but you were doing it way too late. You seemed way too
Oh my,
buddy-buddy. That
dude,
made
Joe,
me
Joe,
uncomfortable.
stop. This is not a fucking joke. I need to tell people exactly what I was doing there. I was talking with Oni Seon so he would have as much of a conversation. Chris Hansen saying, I just want to get your side of the story, Oni Seon. And that's what we're doing. We gave him ability to talk. The more I fuck with him, the more I joke, the more I talk shit, the more I do that, the less he's gonna fucking speak. We just gave you guys his side of the story, which everybody says they've been clamoring for.
Yeah, but why
If
do you
you-
support predators?
If you guys wanted me to bump,
Shit.
if you guys wanted me,
You hit a dog.
it's a good boy. Fuck me.
I thought you were on our side, the side of the people that defend the victims. You know? You gotta think of the victims here. Why don't you believe the victims?
I just stop.
Now, a couple things concern me here. Number one, did he really hit a dog? And then the number two is this Joe person is really, really, really being insensitive and really making the situation worse for Billy. It's hard to tell if Billy's really trying here. He says that he is. It does appear that he's uncomfortable. But like I said, whoever he surrounded himself with, they're not making things better for this situation. But like I said, I'm not trying to drag it through the mud. I don't know who Billy is. I was disappointed in what I saw. But you guys tell me what you think, because as interesting as this is, so it's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and or interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up those likes. As always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. Whoo! Big updates today. Crazy things are happening. I feel like there's going to be civil suits. I feel like this is definitely a thing. You guys let me know what you think. I'm off for the next 2 days. I busted my butt all week, man. I've been off schedule. This is actually the first week this year where I felt stressed. So I'm glad I'm off for the next 2 days, but I wasn't able to get to the Real Stream News video, so we're gonna open up next week with that one. And today we hit 116,000 subscribers. 116,000 subscribers. I could not be more grateful to my community, the Rep Squad. You guys really make every day better, and I really appreciate you guys for supporting the Facebook, because as you know, this year's goal is to get the Facebook to 10,000 followers, and we're almost at 3,000, and we're going faster than I thought we were going to, and that's really awesome, because it's like now that it's more engaging over there, and it's taken off. It's a fun place, and it's like I like it because when I write things to you guys, I can go really in depth, it feels good because I've been practicing my writing, and like I said, I'm writing a book this year. I'm going to put it out for free. I'm really excited to do that for you guys. Also, if you guys have any topics that you want me to hear me talk about, let me know. Just DM me at the Facebook, and that's just another way to show that you're repping. If you're not repping your Greg, and how you do that, I'll get your subscribe notifications turned on. Be in the comment section to every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there, and the rest of the Red Sox community as well, and I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. You know, my hair's really starting to grow on me.